Today, I'm taking this 3D printed MP5 and I'm gonna make it look like it just came out of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So let's get started and come follow along. All right, and the first thing we are gonna do is prep the surface for paint. Today, we are gonna paint it the Damascus Mastery camo from Modern Warfare. But the surface is generally pretty decent, but as you can see here, there is some bumps and bruises and a lot of those ugly layer lines, and we want this to be a smooth surface. So we're going to use one product to do that, and that is Bondo. This stuff is used on cars, like in body shops and stuff, to fill in like key marks and little scratches. So we're going to use that on the surface here. Let's get started. Alrighty, so we have all of this stuff here. I'm going to get my gloves on. There is some of this, like this one is generally, I would say, pretty dang solid. This is a really nice print. So this one isn't gonna need a whole lot. The back one, there is some little like, some scarring from the supports and stuff like that. And then in here is just a little bit gross. The main piece is really where the bulk of this is gonna go in. The layer lines are just not great. So, and then there's also like a couple of these spots that like broke off that we fixed. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, we went a little over the top. So, as you can see, yeah, we basically bonded the whole thing. Once I started kind of working on it, I realized this was a little bit more rough than I initially thought. And yeah. Now, I want to stress something. The prep work is the most important step of this process by a lot. So I'm putting in the extra work at the beginning here so that the end product looks so much better. It's just going to make our painting surface easier to work on, and at the end of it all, it's just going to be a really, really nice looking piece. We got to wait overnight, let this dry, and we will see you guys in the morning and we'll get to sanding. All right, we've got this all dry, and now it is time, unfortunately, to sand the hell out of this. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, we've sanded it down, and I just rinsed it off and just kind of let it outside to dry, and it looks pretty good. The next step now is to spray it with our filler primer, and that's just gonna help with any leftover little spots, and I can definitely tell that there is some, and we will be sanding it again after that. But yeah, let's get to spraying this light, even coats, and let's just make this thing look good. Now with everything primed, well, the filler primer at least, it's looking pretty good. So let's just kind of give you a once over. So this is kind of the back piece. You can see there's a little bit of work that needs to be done here. I already started sanding this a little bit, but we're just gonna kind of smooth it out. That one looks pretty good. The barrel, same story. It looks pretty dang good. You know, all of that bond that we did at the beginning was really, really solid. So we really don't have to do too much here. Just kind of smooth out some of those weird edges and stuff like that. And then the main piece. Now this still has a little bit of work to go for sure. There is, like you can see in the middle part, there's just like some like weird spots, but that will sand right out really, really easily. So let's get to that. Come along. Come along. What? Just let's sand some more. And now it's time to prime. So we are going to take our black paint, pull it right here, flat black primer, and get to work. Light coats. This is just going to be our base, and then we're going to be putting everything on it. So our last thing of prep before we go to paint. So let's do this, and then yeah, we'll see you on stream. Were you there? If you weren't, check us out. We stream on YouTube, Twitch, Kick. We do it all. So coming out with us is a good time. And yeah, we'll see you guys there. All right, so we have our black MP5 here, and we have our three base colors: metallic blue, metallic green, and metallic purple. We've got them on the palette, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slowly get these all over the surface here and make a nice smooth gradient. So we're just gonna start just lightly brushing this on. We just want to keep this nice light and yeah, easy. All right, so now we've got the blue base, and we're gonna go back in with our green and our purple and just start making basically like almost stripes. And yeah, just really, really smooth, just light, even coats. And you can see, like, as I'm painting this, as less and less paint is on the brush, you just kind of continue brushing, and that will just make that gradient for you. Super, super easy. And this is just for our base coat. Then we go in with the purple, same thing. Boom. Just like that. Bomb. All right, so now we've got the base down, the purple to green, blue, metallic, all over. It's looking really, really good. But now we got to go and start the other part. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of just touch up with black around all of this, and then we will move on to the next part. So we're kind of just letting this dry and just kind of like not wasting time, but trying to be, you know, mindful of our time that we got here, and just clean up all these edges, stuff like that. So let's get to it. So the black is looking good on that. All right, now with all the black touched up, we probably will have to touch it up again in the end. We will be doing some like dry brushing and stuff like that, but not yet. First, we need to do all of the topographic pattern and all that stuff. So I'm gonna start with the red part on the main Damascus, and then we'll go back and do the blue part. But first, let's do that. So we're gonna go ahead and we are gonna grab our red here. I'm gonna start with like a darker one, and then we're gonna use this brush, which is like kind of like a liner brush, pretty small, but I would say it's pretty large, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know what I mean? So we're just gonna get a little bit of this this red on here. Now, normally I would kind of like draw out the design, but I've done Damascus a few times now, and I'm pretty like comfortable with it. So I'm just gonna kind of send it. So this brush is really like the perfect size, because like that line just turns out pretty much exactly how we want it to. So we're just gonna kind of go, and the way I do this is I just kind of go with the flow. I don't really have like a specific idea outside of making it feel right. And so you're gonna make like one shape, and then once you get that one shape, then you usually go like a smaller version of that shape, and then you kind of just, you know, continue that until it's a little tiny guy. All right, so now that we've got the basic kind of Damascus done on this side, I am going to go ahead and take one of my connectors here. Just pop that in there, and then we're going to put the barrel on. And I'm just going to do this for now because I want to have one of these like Damascus kind of looking things. I want to have it connect between the two. And that's really all you need to do. I just need to get that one little piece right there, because I'm not going to start doing the barrel yet. But just that one little piece there is enough to kind of show me where that connects. And then when we go back to that, we have that already done. All right, now we've done a ton of work here. It's super shiny. It's looking really good. So we have the red basically all planned out on everything, but the red is really dark. And I did that on purpose because we are going to go over it one more time with just a slightly lighter red, and that's just going to give a little bit of a highlight so that when we put the gloss on, everything's going to look really, really good. So we're going to do that, and then we will move on to the final really couple of steps here. So let's get right back to it. All right, now with the highlights done, I think it looks really good. I think we're in a good spot. Put it kind of together here so you can see. I think this looks pretty dang cool. So the next step now is to do the blue part, which is in all of the black, and it's not actually all of it, but I'm gonna do like a little bit more than what it actually is, just because I feel like it looks really cool. So I'm gonna do like the whole mag with it, and then this part, and then yeah, then we will see you after that. But I think it's looking great. Let's do the blue. I'm gonna be using this pearlescent blue, just so we get a little bit of shimmer in that as well. And let's get to work. And now we've got all of the blue done. So we've got blue, we've got red, we've got all the base. Really all that's left here for the main painting part is to kind of just dry brush and dirty up the black areas. So we're going to do that with a few things. We're going to do it with some gray paint, and then we are going to bring out the gilding wax as well, and that will just kind of dirty it up. I'm going to also throw in a little bit of brown, and that should give it a really nice effect, just kind of make it look battle worn and used a little bit. So let's do it. We got the gilding wax here. I'm going to start with this gray. This is a matte pewter gray. It's kind of like my dark gray. And then we're going to take my dry brush and fill that up. And then we're going to take a lot of that paint off. And then from there, we just kind of go onto the surface in a bunch of these places here. And now we're going to go in with some of our brown here. We've got a nice base of that gray, and same thing. We're just going to get it on the brush, and then we're just going to kind of go back into some of these spots and use the brown kind of sparingly. All right, so I feel really good about that. Next step is going to be with the gilding wax. Now for the gilding wax, we are going to be using a hard bristle brush, and we're just going to shake this up just a little bit, and we're just going to take a little bit. I like to just take it off the lid here, and we're going to put it onto the surface. Just a tiny bit of this goes a really, really long way. So we're not even going to probably use all of that. This stuff like just goes on forever. So everything that's left on the brush, we're just going to kind of try to wipe most of it off. And then you just kind of go. I like using it on the edges of things. I don't like going too much onto the surface unless there's like a very specific spot, but I really like hitting just like the edges of areas, and it just gives it this really, really nice just metallic spot that just like really helps. Like you can see right there, it just really helps bring out those details and really makes it look really nice. And there you have it. We're gonna seal it, and then once that's done, it looks like this. I think this is my best version of Damascus so far, and I really, really like the way it turned out. Let me know in the comments what your favorite mastery camo is, and maybe we'll do it on the next weapon. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We just crossed 100,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane, and we're going to be doing something special for that very, very soon. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.